All right, let's move on to weather news. And Kenya is heading into a 6th straight failed rain season, the Meteorological Department has said. Now, the Met Department says only a small fraction of the country will receive normal rains, with the rest registering depressed and highly depressed rainfall that is set to start in 2 weeks' time. Now, while the country's breadbasket is among those areas with depressed rains, the Met Department says it will be sufficient to allow farmers to plant fast-maturing crops. Let's get more from our very own Brenda Wanga.
For a country already reeling under high food prices, the report from the Meteorological Department paints a picture of even harder times ahead. The March to May weather forecast shows that the country's and the region's rain outlook is less than desirable.
Going by the analysis that we have done, does not promise a lot of rainfall. Number one, there may be some delay, and number two, there may be gaps. Once we get the onset, there may be gaps where you have long periods of no rainfall, even though the onset will have already been observed.
Indeed, according to the forecast, only 3 areas, parts of Marsabit, Kajiado, and the eastern parts of Narok, will register normal rainfall for this period. The regions in the country's breadbasket, including Trans Nzoia, Uasin Gishu, Elgeyo Marakwet, West Pokot, the larger parts of Western Kenya counties, Kericho, parts of Narok and West Turkana, will receive depressed rains, while the rest of the counties, including Nairobi, counties in Central and Mount Kenya regions, North and Eastern counties, and the coastal strip will receive what the Met Department terms as highly depressed rains that will last until June.
Even in terms of farming and other uses of the main product of rainfall, there should be enough, but the story is about depressed rainfall over most parts of the country.
That depressed rain now portends more trouble for the country's agriculture sector and her food security situation. It is expected that farmers will have low crop and pasture performances that will result in low yields for farmers. The spillover effect of this will be low access to foods that will cost more, further worsening the food insecurity in these regions and the country. The reduced rains will also pose a risk to the survival of livestock in a sector that has already suffered losses, running into over 2 million animals.
Currently, 4.4 million Kenyans are in dire need of food, a number that's likely to rise in the coming months. In order to manage climate risks, decision makers must understand the risks well and be able to anticipate them.
But in places where the rains will be normal, the Met Department warns that there could be cases of flash flooding and increased waterborne diseases incidents. At the same time, the impact of the pains will be felt in the energy sector with decreased hydropower generation at the Seven Forks Dam. The National Disaster Management Authority has been challenged to be on the ready for any eventualities based on the weather data.
For other users of this information, whatever you do and it is impacted by lack of rainfall or excess rainfall, is there something that you can do to ensure that you are safer?
Brenda Wanga, Citizen TV,